Hi everyone, welcome to Michelle on the Money. We are all about bringing you the latest stories about money in Missouri and Illinois from this week. And then also we're going to talk about ways to save and spend money. Plus we're looking at the biggest money headlines. So let's get right into it. Some alarming news for Boeing employees. The manufacturing giant announced it is planning to cut about 10% of its workforce. Boeing has more than 170,000 employees all around the world, but the vast majority of those employees live right here in the U.S., many, of course, in St. Louis. This measure comes as part of the cost-cutting initiatives taken by the new CEO of the company, who took the helm back in August, and says that Boeing needs to refocus resources and not spread itself too thin. The job cuts over the next coming months will include executives, managers, as well as employees. Well, did you see it? Demolition of the Chesterfield Mall is now underway. It began on Tuesday, paving the way for a $2 billion redevelopment project. The mall will be replaced by downtown Chesterfield, a multi-use property made up of apartments, complex, and restaurants, I should say, and offices, including the Cheesecake Factory. The entire demolition, though, should last about 6 months. Start Bar in downtown St. Louis is now permanently closed. The arcade bar on Spruce Street closed its doors for the final time earlier this week, actually on Monday morning. The owner announced the closure last week, saying it allows more time to focus on their other ventures, the Wheelhouse and the Midwestern. And that's also not the only recent business closure here in the Lou. We know that Mexican-American restaurant Sonny's Cantina closed its doors for good on Sunday after a 5-year run. The restaurant was off Manchester Avenue in the France Park neighborhood. But here's some good news. If you have any valid gift cards for Sonny's Cantina, you will still be able to redeem those at Felix's Pizza Hub, which is also owned by the same owners of Sonny's Cantina. Right now, Americans are, of course, still reeling from the aftermath from the 2 hurricanes that devastated southern parts of the country. But we do have some positive news. Businesses here in our area are already jumping in to help with relief efforts. Our Brent Solomon brings us a closer look at efforts to deliver supplies to Georgia.
Inside these O'Fallon, Missouri buildings, you'll see coaches building young people to excel in basketball and boxing. Now, Resilient Boxing and 3D Vision Basketball are joining forces for a different mission.
St. Louis, we need your help.
They're loading up this semi donated by Porter Transit in O'Fallon to send supplies to the storm-ravaged town of Augusta, Georgia.
Disinfectant wipes, we've got diapers here. We got toiletry. All these bags have clothes, brand new clothing in there.
People are donating supplies after learning of their mission.
They really need chainsaws down there because some people can't even get out of their house because they're blocked in by trees.
He would know. He and O'Fallon businessman Brock Travis just got back from Georgia, helping people right after Hurricane Helene hit.
My heart just ached for them.
It looked like someone took trees and just cut all these houses in half.
It's why they knew they had to go back, and they're doing it without hesitation.
It takes money, it takes taking off work, it takes all that, and this is something it's a mission trip in our own country.
The companies are accepting paper towels, trash bags, baby and pet food, you name it. The goal is to fill this truck so there isn't room left.
I think our country needs more love, and if it takes a hurricane to bring people together, then so be it.
That was Brent Solomon reporting there. Now, you can drop off supplies through Friday afternoon at the businesses that you just saw or at Gateway Christian Church in West County. And for locations and hours, visit this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSTK.com. In the meantime, a Metro East High School is making a multi-million-dollar investment in trades. 5 on Your Side's Holden Kerwicki has details about the Collinsville Area Vocational Center.
Since opening its doors in 1971, the Collinsville Area Vocational Center has had the same goal.
That's to meet the needs of not just the student interests, but we also try to really hone in and find what business and industry is looking for.
But according to Director Joe McGinnis, the center keeps running into the same issue.
This past year, we had 575 seats. We had almost 800 students wanting to come to CAVC, so we had to turn away about 200.
The demand is there because there's such a shortage in the trades and skilled labor that they are begging for more students. And so each year our request for coursework goes up.
Thanks to a $25 million grant from the state of Illinois, that could soon change as Collinsville breaks ground on a new 44,000 square foot vocational building that will help reshape the way that people think about vocational trades.
Well, we feel it's one of the best hidden gems in the entire Metro East, just because there is a demand for skilled labor, healthcare, as well as education and cybersecurity.
Next two programs, once our expansion is completed, is we're going to have HVAC and then some aviation-related programs initially. So those are directly coming from those business and industry needs for the local area.
By partnering with businesses directly, the school has been able to give students in 10 Metro East districts the ability to get on-the-job training, setting the center and its students up for success.
We have generated about $1.5 million of private business donations that are going to be partners with us throughout this, such as Train, McKay, Napa, and Holland Construction, as just to name a few. And we're continuing to grow those partnerships so that we can send students out of high school ready to work, but also better their lives and their families.
Now, if all goes as planned, construction on the new vocational center will start in the spring and will be finished in time for the start of the 2026 school year. On to our Career Central. Slate's Holly Jolly Holiday Hiring Fair Series is back. You can plan to attend the first of 5 fairs on Monday, October 28th. Employers who are hiring include AOS, Staffing, Sodexo, and FedEx, along with several others. The fair runs from 9 a.m. until noon at 1520 Market Street in the first floor conference room. It is sponsored by the St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment. The 22nd Judicial Circuit also needs to fill a variety of positions. You can plan to drop by this 2-day job fair. It is Tuesday, October 22nd at 9 in the morning, and it runs through Wednesday, October 23rd at 2 p.m. on the 4th floor of the Civil Courts building. They need youth leader specialists, deputy juvenile officers, licensed practical nurses, registered nurses, custodians, and a few other positions as well. For more information about job openings in our area, you can just text the word career to 314-425-5355. On to the latest on transportation issues for St. Louis public school students. Several bus routes have been suspended after the buses did not meet safety standards. Here's what we know. We know that SLPS said it is stopping all routes from one of its vendors, but did not say which ones. Our team at 5 on Your Side spoke to concerned parents about trying to achieve consistent transportation for their children.
The kids can't just walk to school, down the street to the school without worrying about something going on. So it's stressful by him being 7, and I got to get him back to school every day.
SLPS announced a new Assistant Director of Transportation, Leviticus McNeil. He is going to review all the vendor compliance contracts and regulations, and then a public report is expected to come out on November 1st. Well, you probably already feel this, but healthcare costs have now hit a post-pandemic high. So if you get your insurance through your work, like so many of us, it's now a good time to take advantage of open enrollment, specifically with health savings accounts, life insurance, and then other benefits. I don't know if you know this, but you can put away more than $8,500 tax-free into an HSA if you have a family plan. And you should consider upping your supplemental disability and life insurance. Also take advantage of those voluntary benefits that your employer may offer, like stress management, tuition assistance, or even backup child care. Hurricane Helene's effects are being felt all across hospitals in the U.S. right now after a major manufacturer was impacted by the storm. Now, those affected hospitals are rationing IV fluids and in some cases have even postponed surgeries. We know that the FDA is issuing guidelines for compounding at pharmacies to help fill in the gaps. We are also now in that time of year where the weather is starting to get a little chilly outside, right? And now that we are experiencing cooler weather, you may want to crank on that heat. Our Diamond Palmer shows us how you can prep your home for winter and save money while you're at it.
Weeks after the start of fall, the chill in the air is back, and that means it's time to turn up the heat. But before you do,
check the furnace filter.
Molly Rose with Spire says if that filter is dirty or clogged, it will work twice as hard. It's also good to write the date on the filter, so when you change it, you know how often to change it. Other tips to save money include making sure every corner in your home is sealed.
Really just seal up those little cracks in the openings around windows and doors. So you can do this by caulking, by using weather stripping, especially if you have some of those older creaky windows.
Rose says if you're unsure about those exterior doors, you can do this easy seal check.
Take a dollar bill, put it in the doorway, and actually close the door on that dollar bill. If you can pull it through, unfortunately, that means some heat is escaping the home, some air is getting in, and there's just a little bit too much draft in that doorway.
You can also heat your home naturally by opening your blinds and drapes that are south-facing during the day. In the evening, you should close them to reduce drafts. Lastly, having a programmable thermometer can save hundreds of dollars each year. The American Gas Association says you could save more than $1,100 a year by following energy-saving tips.
Just adjusting your heating setting from 7 to 10 degrees, you can save 10% on your heating bill throughout the course of the year.
Reporting in St. Louis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Well, great tips there. Along with those energy-saving tips, Spire also recommends budget billing to help manage your bill. All right, this morning, your cup of joe at Starbucks could cost you a little bit more. Starbucks is cutting back on some promotional offers through its mobile app. The company says the move will reduce the strain on employers who become kind of overworked during certain deals. And then there won't be any broad holiday offerings this season. Instead, Starbucks plans to promote seasonal drinks through its advertising. Right now, Facebook is getting a redesign in hopes of reaching some younger people. The social media giant is 20 years old, but it has really plummeted in popularity among teens and younger people. Facebook discovered that the young people who are on the site actually use it for community-type features like Facebook Marketplace, where you can buy used things, and also for groups. So that means a redesign is coming with that in mind. You're going to see AI to help answer questions in specific groups, and it will let non-Facebook users RSVP for events. In the meantime, it is trouble for TikTok. The tools that limit screen time for teens apparently only cut down about 1.5 minutes each day. This information was discovered in unredacted files that were released mistakenly. So in these documents, TikTok executives discussed potential dangers for teenagers who use the app, but then unveiled the tools to help minors weren't really a priority because their goal is not to reduce time spent on the app. 14 attorneys general are currently suing TikTok right now, saying the platform has harmed young people. Well, check this out. Customers at Costco are going to start getting their groceries for cheaper. The big box retailer announced it is cutting prices, and it looks like a lot of food and household items are going down anywhere from maybe $1 to $5 an item. If you remember, earlier this year, Aldi announced a big cut to 250 essential groceries, and soon after Target lowered their prices as well on more than 5,000 frequently bought items. So it was a lot. So this move by Costco makes it the third major retailer to double down on food pricing. Also, Delta Airlines says travelers are skipping summer travel to make fall vacations a reality. The weather has been a pretty big factor here, especially in Europe. On an earnings call this week, Delta said that travelers are avoiding European getaways in the scorching summer months and then opting for fall getaways, which of course changes the way Delta does business. We also know that Delta and United have both extended their transatlantic schedules to help serve their customers. Some will fly October and November, while others will take off in March and in April. So stay tuned. And we are also bringing you the very latest on some spooky spending. Halloween spending is expected to reach $11.6 billion in the U.S. this year, according to a National Retail Federation survey. That's actually down from last year's total, which reached a record-setting $12.2 billion in spending. Primary drivers of that spending, of course, can you guess? Candy, decorations, and costumes, of course. Well, that does it for our top consumer stories of the week. Thanks so much for joining us. For Michelle on the Money. Also, we'll see you again next weekend right here on the 5+ app.